Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, world. Thank you for joining us on Get Inspired with Joyce. I'm your host, Joyce Ajanaku. We have a great show today, and you can join us live by dialing 646-478-5589, or join us on Facebook, Get Inspired with Joyce, or on Twitter, Get Inspired, WJOY. This show is to encourage our listeners to inspire them to be all that God has called them to be while advertising Christ, living on purpose, and to also be an ambassador of Christ, to also be good representative of God here on earth. We also pray to inspire people to use their talents and their gifts for a greater cause. As you know, we all know God purposely gave us different gifts for specific reasons to help depopulate the kingdom of darkness. I believe that very strongly. Today we're going to be talking about health, specifically your eyes for kids and adults. As I was thinking of how critical, our eyes are, and it gives light. I believe it gives light to the entire body, and I feel most of us don't pay much attention to it. At least this is my opinion. And we talk about going to the doctors for regular checkup or dentist, but seldom do we talk about going to an eye doctor for checkup until something really goes wrong. And I'm wondering why. So to do this justice, we have none other than my sister. I call a lot of people my sister, but this is really my blood sister. She's such a blessing to me, my family. I thank God every day for her. I can call on her any time of the day, and she'll be there to encourage, pray with me. She loves the Lord. She's a perfect example of someone who gave it her all to pursue her dreams. She's an eye doctor. She has a master's in public health. She's an assistant professor of ophthalmology at Hopkins University School of Medicine, where she also practices as an optometrist. She's working on a book. She's mentioning tons of publication. I mean, I can go on and on. But you know what? I'm super excited to introduce you to my sister, Josephine Owoeye, Dr. O.I., as a lot of people love to call her. Sis, are you there? Welcome.
I am here. You are outrageous.
Thank you so much for joining us. You know what? I'm super, super excited. And, how are you?
I am. You are amazing. You are just outrageous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm like, you know what? I can't do a perfect introduction for you. You're just, way beyond.
Aww.
So, you know what? I just want, I was thinking, and I'm like, you know what? A lot of people don't take care of their eyes. This is my opinion.
Right.
That's just my opinion. And
right.
Someone told me years ago that they started using glasses, and a way of telling me was, could you believe I couldn't see? I'm always squinting, and before I know it, boom, glasses. So why do we wait till it gets to that point before we do something about it?
Good question. And before we start, I just have to put in there, I love your show. You're such a blessing.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. I can't believe my baby sister is interviewing me, but that's okay. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome, babe. So the thing there is, that is so funny that you would say, come talk to us about vision, because it's very true. We take that for granted. It's so true. We say, oh, I can squint it out, or I can see, but some people don't even know that they can see better. So that's why some people let it go for so long, because they don't know. So, for instance, I see a lot of kids, and, of course, a 6-month-old doesn't know that they can see better, or a 2-year-old they don't know that they're supposed to see better, or what their potential is. And then for us adults, we let it go because we're deceiving ourselves. Like, oh, I don't want glasses, not knowing that glasses are actually going to help you. And, yeah. So another thing is we'd say, oh, I can squint. What squinting is doing is it's making you force the focus. You can do that for only so much time. You will not be able to sustain that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you go to work today, you try to squint. You go to work tomorrow, you try to squint. Pretty soon you're going to get a headache and you won't be able to deliver 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, could this be prevented, though? I know you mentioned glasses, but is that the ultimate and the most thing you could do? Is there are there other things you can do, some food we can eat to, to correct that or to make it better?
So that's another good question. So you're saying, oh, you know what, can this be prevented? Well, so the need for glasses, not really, because you were born that way. Or you have matured into a person that now needs glasses. You see what I mean? So we really can't stop that. This is just a natural process. Those of us who have grown into needing it, that's a natural process. It's just like your shoe size changing. You see what I mean? But then the kids now that are born that way, I can't prevent that anymore because they're already that way. So the ultimate for me would be to put them in glasses, to put them in contacts. Adults, after they've finished changing and their size is changing, so I want you to think of it like a shoe size. So when their shoe size stops, when their eyes stop developing, they could try laser surgery, things like that. So we really can't prevent it, but we can treat it. It's treatable and manageable.
It's treatable and manageable. But for in kids though, excuse me, is there can you detect like illnesses in kids early? Is there some things you can look out for?
So you're talking from the standpoint of the parent now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of us that are parents, if you're looking at your child, so let's take, for example, you have a 3-year-old, and you think that the 3-year-old is running into things. The 3-year-old is clumsy. I'm not saying only a vision problem could be the issue, but at the same time, you want to get that evaluated. So a study of mine that came out about a year and a half ago or 2 years showed that preschoolers, their parents think that they have behavioral problems, but I actually found out, me and my colleagues found out that it could actually be a vision problem in there that makes them assume that it's a behavioral problem. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Isn't that huge?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is big. That's interesting. The thing is, you keep, stressing the little kid, the poor child, and you don't actually know that it's something that maybe they were born with, or you didn't detect it early, and you're thinking it's actual behavior issue.
Very correct.
Wow.
Very
wow.
Yes,
and I know, you're at Johns Hopkins, you see patients and all that stuff. I know you have HIPAA laws and stuff. I won't cross too much into it. But what's your average children you see weekly? Like on a weekly basis, how many kids do you see?
So per day, I see probably between 10 and 12 kids, and then the rest of it is adults because I see grandparents, I see parents of the kids. Sometimes I've been with some families now for about 8-9 years. So
wow.
So now they're saying, oh, I want an eye exam too, and I'm going, well, I have to see you as a parent as well. So it's really true. An average of 10 to 12 kids every day.
Wow, that's wonderful. Wow, that much.
Yes,
jeez, wow. Wow. And I knew we talked about, preventing how you can easily catch what it is they were born with it in the beginning when we started. So are you, is there, because I know people talk about carrots and all that stuff, is there like a natural regimen for clear vision? Is this something we can eat or certain food to improve our eyesight?
So for kids, so not necessarily the carrot thing. There's no consensus on that yet.
Really?
But then I have some kids. They come in and they go, "Well, am I supposed to eat my vegetables?" The answer is yes.
Oh, so cute. Okay.
But not because of any study or anything that's out on it. So the consensus is still out on that. Jury's out. So But then for adults, of course, we have several vitamins out, like ARED studies, different studies that support vitamins that have lutein in it, that have different minerals in it. Now, that's not necessarily going to take the eye problem away, but it can help you manage it better. So in those
instances,
right, just ask your doctor, can I use a vitamin? Will it help me? Type deal.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah. And I know, we there's a show on TV that's 2020, and then everybody knows 2020, it's a perfect vision, as people say. Yes. But is it really perfect vision? Is there? I mean, can you get anyone with a perfect vision of 2020? I mean, do you see patients that has a perfect vision?
So, you know what, we have to be careful when we say perfect vision. I know 2020 is like your visual acuity. That's the sharpness of your vision. So, but there are other factors to vision. There are things like depth perception. There are things like perceptual ability. So in the middle of a bucket of beans, can I spot the red crayon, or can I spot the piece of trash, or can I spot the coin? So that's something else. So you, like, even if you're 20/20, the way you perceive things may be off a little bit because of the way your eye's working with your brain. But then just to bring it back home to Vision 101, 2020 is good. It's nice to have 2020, but I've seen some people with 2015 that like to show off. That's even better than 2020. That's better than 2020.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know that. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Yes, okay. Okay. You sound so professional. Yes, ma'am. I'm not a ma'am, because I know when we get up the hair now, you'll be different. You'll be my real sister, proper. So now you're professional. So I guess my question, you kind of talked about it a little bit, that as you get older, like, think about it as changing your shoes. So I know a lot of time when you talk about older citizen, it's always, glasses, and you think about them and you're like, okay, they may have the glasses. Even on TV, they portray them, as, with the cane and then the glasses. So does poor sight actually come with age? Because I've seen older people that don't have glasses, though, or they didn't use glasses.
So that's also a good question. So think about it this way. We have some people that are nearsighted, meaning they wear glasses all the time because they can't see a distance. We have some people that are farsighted, meaning that sometimes they have difficulty seeing at distance and near. We have people that have astigmatism, meaning that, the vision's not as crisp as it's supposed to be. And now there's also one more thing that comes with maturity. We call that presbyopia. This is when anybody above the age of 40 starts to need reading glasses. Now, that comes with age. That is the maturity thing. That one comes with age. The others,
wow,
not necessarily.
Interesting. And something I've heard before is that it may be hereditary, or ethnicity may play a role in your, your sight. Is that true, or?
You know what, that is true. And I don't mean to keep on saying this, but, this is what I like to do. So a study that my colleagues and I did a couple of years ago, the paper came out also a couple of years ago. Of course, we found out that Hispanic children have more astigmatism than African-American children, African descent, Caucasian children. We found that lazy eye is more prominent in some kids than others. We found that lazy eye could be more prominent in kids that their mother smoked during their pregnancy. So there are factors that go along with it. So if you say, well, can it be prevented? If you don't smoke, maybe you're helping out your child by the time you have them. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Really?
Yes.
Wow. And, when I was little, you guys probably don't know this. When I see this, you probably will laugh. When I was little, I always thought,
history.
When I was little, I always thought, using glasses was cool, Hey, even when I go for eye exams, I may say I don't see some letters just because I want to use glasses. God help me. Thank God for Jesus. So one day,
Lord have mercy.
I just woke up and I'm like, after all, you know what? After all, even with all that pretense and all that stuff behind that, because I want to use glasses, I was short-sighted, they say, after all. But I woke up one day and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to use this anymore. And I see clearly I'm fine. But I don't know if there's a vision to that. I want to say, you know, I believe that's my testimony. You know, I know that there's nothing God cannot do. And so is there any danger? Because I know some kids, too, maybe doing that. If I did that at my age, I don't know, from when I was 10 or 11 years old. So is there a danger to that if you're not necessarily, you know, you don't have any illness, but you want to use glasses and then you're wearing glasses, you're using glasses? So is there some kind of danger with that?
Okay, so if, let's say, so I'm going to talk from a standpoint of a child now. So if a child is not supposed to wear glasses and they start to wear somebody else's pair of glasses, that can make their system go into overdrive. So their system will start to think that they need it. And then they will push
that was what I was doing to myself.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You are wrath. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Okay, never mind. But their system, the brain, will start to say, oh, maybe I do need glasses, and then it will push them into needing something. So that's where, if your child's not supposed to use glasses, don't let them wear yours. But if a child is supposed to wear glasses and they do not, that pulls another potential preventable blindness. Because let's say your child is supposed to wear glasses to make sure that their vision is 20/20. And let's say your 6-year-old decides not to wear it, their vision is not going to be 20/20 anymore. They won't be able to see at school. And if it's because of a factor that can cause lazy eye, by the time they are corrected when they're older, their vision may not be able to get to 20/20 anymore. That is what we call lazy eye.
Ah, Jesus.
Right.
Wow,
that is huge.
That's
yes,
serious.
Ma'am.
Yes. Wow.
So if your child is supposed to, and see, I'm saying it again, I'm sorry, miss, but if your child...
It's okay, yeah, please, I want people to know.
Right. If your child is supposed to wear glasses, if they're farsighted, astigmatism, or potential for a lazy eye, and your doctor says wear glasses, and if they do not, when they now become an adult, the potential for them to get to 20/20 is now a little riskier, is a little more shaky. There you go. That's the potential is now not as good as compared to if they had the glasses on all the time.
I see that. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. You know that there's a myth that your eyeballs goes in if you're using glasses. Is this true? I mean, I just need to throw that in there.
Lord have mercy. So, you know,
is that true?
You know what, babe? So people who are what we call short-sighted is what I call nearsighted. People who are nearsighted, when they put their glasses on, the lenses actually give the illusion that the eyes are deeper set in.
Really?
Yeah. So
interesting.
The eyes can't go back in. That's a myth.
Okay, cool. All right. So what are you working on? I mean, I know you're doing a lot of stuff, but you know, for people, my listeners, what are you working on? I know you're doing a lot of cool stuff. Please share them.
I am. So I started doing like health tweets. So like remember after my birthday, I told you I was like, I want to do this, and you're like, big sis, do it. And then like I think the night of my birthday, I sent out my first health tweet. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also blessed. Cool. I'm also really blessed at my church because we have a health department, and just all of a sudden my pastor goes, Pastor Dakoye, what they call, bless you, sir. So he goes, I want us to run this health department. So it's given me a platform, a ministry, in my profession. Everything just fits. And I just really thank God because it's what I'm passionate about, just making sure people are okay. And here I get to do it at church. Here I get to do it at work, and it's just amazing.
Wow.
Traveling, I have the traveling bug now. After going to Saudi Arabia in March to lecture, I now have the traveling bug. I want to go all over the place. And I'm doing some consulting work for Baltimore City Health Department. So
yay!
Nigeria's in the radar too. I want to do stuff. I want to go back home and do stuff at home, just to get everybody busy.
That sounds super exciting. That sounds really, really exciting. I am so proud of you. You are, just represent. How can we get more information about you? Welcome. How can we get more information about you? So if someone wants to come to Johns Hopkins, because that's where you practice right now. So if someone wants to get more information about you, how can we go about that?
So, the website name is so long, but if you go to Johns Hopkins Medicine and you say find a faculty member and you type in my name, so it'll come up. If
Josephine
Owoeye, Owouye, O flag up. And then I'm also on Twitter, @JT_DRJT. And that's where I send my health tweets. And then I can also be reached on my personal email. That's fine. DRJIBIRONKE@hotmail.com.
Yay! So what I'm going to do, I'll put all that information too under the interview once we finish. But real quick, please, can you encourage someone out there who may be in school or is open to, go to medical school or, for example, trying to start their home business? You've done a lot of this stuff after your OD, right? You call it OD.
Yeah.
Doctor. Yeah, your OD. You went back for your M.P.H, Master's in Public Health. So for someone who wants to do all those things, please encourage someone out there, never to give up. Can you please just say a few things to them to encourage someone?
Yeah, all I can say is follow your dream. I've held this dream forever, and I made sure that I worked towards it. I actually had a slogan back then, it's do or die. I didn't take it literally, but I told myself, you know what, Josephine, this is what you want to do. You go do it. Close your eyes. Whatever you see, kind of picture yourself working, and whatever you see that gives you joy is what you should try to pursue. Make sure you make an impact. Make sure you live a legacy. Make sure you celebrate yourself, be authentic, and just kind of go for it. Be real with yourself, and know what you can do and handle, and go for it.
Wow, and go for it. I know before I was saying something about, I did mention your book. I know that is in the works too. You didn't say much about that. Can you tell us a little bit too about that?
So I'm trying to do a little book about kids coming to the eye doctor. My daughter, Grace, is going to do the illustration for the cover because she's an artist.
Can you imagine? My niece, so yeah.
She's amazing. And then we'll probably have Destiny, her baby sister, scribble in it or something. But that's basically the book, one of the books. So I'm really excited. So
you're just health related and.
That one's health related. I have another one that's faith related. It's really cool. I'm still working on it though. My pastor says it's his will. Go ahead. I love my pastor. God bless him. It's his will. Go ahead.
Wow.
So I'm working on that one too.
So that's wonderful. That's all the time we actually have today. And sis, you know what? Thank you so very much for coming on the show and just sharing, your love and what you do. And you know what? I need to ask you this question before we go.
Yeah.
You're doing all this stuff, you're doing all this stuff and everything. What is most fulfilling and gratifying for you? When you look back in the book, the publication, I know you've been into tons. You've done publication. Your name kept popping up. So I'm like, okay, what is all out of all this? I know you love doing this, but what is most satisfying for you?
Oh, babe. It's when I put a pair of glasses on a child that never had a pair, and the kid looks up because they see differently. I see that at least twice or 3 times in 2 weeks. And it's just the kid rises up, even their posture changes, and it gives me chills. That is what I love. Yes.
Wow. Wow. That's just that's that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You know what? If you can do anything, whatever you're doing, your dreams, and you actually see people. I know people who came on the show and they're like, you know what? They sent them an email and said they listened to their song and their life was, they were on the way to having a surgery, and just listening to their song made all the difference and made them to go into the surgery with, a heart of thanksgiving, and they came out singing. So things like that is what the show is all about. Again, I want to thank you so much, Big Sis, for coming on the show, and I hope you'll come back again. As soon as all this stuff that you're working on is all completed, I would love to have you back and, encourage us and inspire someone out there. Thank you very much.
I love you, honey.
I love you too. And we hope, you're welcome. Thank you, sis. We hope you were indeed inspired tonight to take better care of your sight and that of your family, and also to inspire you to make your next move towards your goal and your dreams, and to start living on purpose. So next time, like I always say, go and impact the world around you. The world needs you. They're waiting for you to unleash your God's-given gifts. And remember, the Bible says that God knew us even way before we were conceived. And the thoughts that he has for us are the thoughts of good and not of evil, to take us to an expected end. The devil doesn't want you to fulfill your destiny, so you have to fight for it. Study the word, pray for clarity of vision, and improving yourself daily. I believe God, God listens when we're ready. We're ready to, take that move. Lord, I'm ready for you. Just show me what I need to do. And their destiny helpers too. God will link you to people before you know it. Somebody is calling somebody knows somebody that knows somebody, and things are just clicking and working out the way it should be. And I always wonder, I think about, if all of us are fulfilling our dreams, if all of us are living on purpose and doing what God has called us to do, how beautiful, how amazing will this world be? So just please take a move, make a move. It doesn't matter. It could be baby steps. At the end of the day, it all comes together. And again, before I start preaching, I just want to say thank you so much again for joining us on Get Inspired with Joyce. I'm your host, Joyce Ajanaku. Have a fantabulous day. Thank you so much again. Bye-bye.